First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Janarius Starks, and also, and this is in memory of his daughter. And I'm thankful that he was able to come onto our live stream and talk about this story. We were able to do an interview, and he was able to give me that and give us some more details. And also, just to let you guys know, because this is actually very, very late breaking news. We did get some information, and I'm hoping it's okay to go ahead and put this out there. But if you guys remember the beautiful little angel, this angel right here, who we believed, and I called this out from the jump, these were my words and my words alone, that I thought that the boyfriend, yes, this is an official update. I believe that it was the boyfriend who they have not even named yet, but the boyfriend was the one who caused this baby's death. I believe that there were people lying about information as far as between the boyfriend and the biological mother, perhaps maybe even covering up some information. Again, those are my words. But officially, there is some news that this baby had a broken neck. That is a huge update. And I'm telling you guys, I believe this is going to be deemed as foul play. There are going to be arrests made. We're going to be doing an update to this story. Yes, I get upset about this because I love these children. I hate the fact that these babies are subjected to this, especially when you have more than capable parents on the other side. There's no reason for us to introduce our children to somebody that we're just dating or somebody that we're just having sex with. I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from, okay? So I need to give you guys a disclaimer real quick before I show you guys the interview. If you guys do not mind, bear with me just a moment. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's get it.
Daughter name is Justice Starks, and my name is Janarius Starks.
With your daughter, I was sent an email about your story, and I got a chance to kind of look at it, and I kind of cross-referenced between a lot of different websites to kind of find out what happened. You know, there's with this situation, and first of all, I want to absolutely express my condolences because as a father and as a father of two girls, you know, this absolutely broke my heart for, you know, because I understand how I feel about my children. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing I want to do is express my sincerest thoughts and prayers to you. But when I saw this story, it really captured my attention because I'm wondering, where would you like to start as far as when you got this phone call that something was wrong? What were you told?
I was chilling at the house, and the text message just came through, basically just telling me that my daughter has lots of brain damage. You can contact me, my father, or my mother. We downtown at the Children's Hospital. And I made a phone call, and I was asking about what happened. They was just like, "Get down here," so I just got down there. When I got down there, I just wasn't told much. You know what I'm saying? It was all like distractions. Let's pray and all this other stuff. Nobody wanted to talk about like why is she here? How did she get here? Like it was like when I'm asking about who is this friend of the family, nobody knows this friend of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm asking her mom, her dad, who is this friend of the family? They like, I don't know. So I'm look at her and I'd be like, how is this a friend of the family if nobody know this person? And it's a dude, so it was already kind of suspicious. I just wasn't getting no answers. Like I was told at first that it might have that it happened in a different city, but that wasn't even add up. They said it was in the city that I reside in, Pontiac, which is about like 25 minutes from Detroit. I was like, that just doesn't make sense. It's three hospitals in Pontiac. Why would my daughter make it out of Pontiac if we in Detroit?
What did the police tell you happened or the doctors? Who did you speak to first?
I was in the hospital for a whole day, just listening to them telling me what they wanted to tell me. And eventually like I said, it was already flagged. So it was already an investigation that was going on before I even knew about it. So eventually, like the next day, they asked who the parents was. I was in the room. I was like, me. They took me in the room, asked me questions about my daughter history, about my family history, far as like what you can far as hereditary, far as like different diseases, you know what I'm saying? Like they ask you, do you got high blood pressure running in your family? Then they kind of like just cut to the chase and told me what was going on with my daughter. It's like, look, listen here, something like that. Like this doesn't match up. Like it's just way too much going on with your daughter. It's bruises all over. But I could not see the bruises because she was laying on her back. She had blankets on her. She had blankets on her head. She had like 8 IVs. She had a neck brace on. So I couldn't see everything that was going on. She had her hand was under the blanket what they had wrapped up. She had that on her hand. I thought it was hands, mouth, and foot disease because that's what I was told, but they was telling me that it was burns. And they was just like it's way too much stuff going on. They was like it's no way this could happen from an incident from falling down the steps. Like you don't fall down the steps and hit every part of your body. You don't fall down the steps and just have bruises all over yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you came in here with a with a head injury, but you just don't have bruises all over your body from falling down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Then I heard like she fell down the steps by herself. Then I heard that they both fell down the steps. Like like all this is like it just been like the truth will come out.
You heard
And
who? You heard
I,
who? You heard who fell down the steps? Like they tried to say both of who.
the friend,
Mm-hmm.
the boyfriend or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like then I talked to the police. The police came shortly after them, about an hour after that. They talked to me. And like I was lost during the whole thing because I looked at him and I was like, I was talking as if it happened in Pontiac, which would be Oakland County. And he basically just looked at me and was like, look at me. I'm Wayne County. I'm Detroit, man. We don't cover cases in Oakland County. You know what I'm saying? He just felt bad for me. Like he kind of like kind of told me like more of what was going on. And he was just like, we picked your daughter up from a house in Detroit, and it's more about that situation, the house and shit. And it was mentioned that I shouldn't be called. You know what I'm saying? Like It was mentioned that you don't have to call him. He's not in his daughter's life like that. It's stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So then the whole point is like when something happened like this, like as a mother, like I feel like you should instantly be on like the defensive, the defensive part of it. Like I ain't really feel that. You know what I'm saying?
Like the concern should be number one about your daughter.
Well, I mean, like it was concerned, but I was like if my daughter felt in somebody's presence, like what they gonna know everything right then and there on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like they would have been able to make her arrest basically what just off what I just said. But
Mm-hmm.
none of that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you a woman at that. So, and it just hurt. Like I love my daughter. Like when I tell you like she was just so perfect, like she was perfect. Like we man, I don't know. Like she was really just like perfect for me. Like she was cool. Like she played, but she ain't really she did her, but she never really did a lot. You know what I'm saying? And she was always happy. She always brought a smile to whoever was in the room with her.
Mm-hmm. So, in your best estimation, because you picked her up on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
And she was perfectly fine when she was in your possession before you took her back home.
When I picked up my daughter, she had her nose was red. It was down to like like the raw skin. It was pink. Uh, she had like blisters on her hands that I was told there was hands, mouth, and foot disease. Uh, she looked kind of lethargic, like kind of like out of it a little bit, like somebody that would have a cold. She did have a knot on her forehead, but these are all things I asked about. I asked about the knots. I was like, why does she got? a scratch on her forehead. Why do she got a knot? It was always told to me, she's a kid, she being a kid. But even like I was just like kind of like trusting, like who could believe, I'm just thinking like she a mother, like she ain't gonna let she ain't gonna let nothing happen to her daughter or something like that, you know.
So she was damaged by the time you got her.
Like blisters on her hands. She had her nose was pink. It was down to the another layer of skin, scab on her forehead, which was healing at the time. And I asked about the knot in the scab that was on her forehead. She just told me she was being a kid. And I explained to her, I was like, look, man, she only like you gotta, basically like watch her more. Like she don't need all these scars when she get older, you know. So that was our conversation. Like I got a bunch of scars from when I was a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want my my girl to grow up and have to explain that, like why she got all these scars on her body. Like,
So when you got her in your possession, she already had this visible damage to her, and mom just said she's being a kid, and that's what kids do. They get into stuff, they get bruises and cuts and stuff like that. But you
yeah.
knew that something it did that didn't sound correct to you.
I mean, it didn't. I wouldn't say it didn't sound correct because I took her word for it, just like the hen mouth and foot disease. Like I thought, but I also was in contact with her grandmother, her, which is her mother. She was out of town for Thanksgiving, and she didn't even know how her grandbaby looked. Like I had to send pictures to her grandmother, and like, I mean, how do you see how your grandbaby is looking? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, are you aware of this too? She was like, no. She was freaking out. She wanted me to go to the hospital. The baby mother was more like, it'll be fine. She's all right. This is what kids do, basically.
As far as the information in the news and anything as far as information the police have released, they haven't released anything yet. What can you speak on as far as either what you think might have happened, or is there something you suspect that you do know?
In a way, I kind of know probably from you looking at the news, I probably just know just as much as you. But anybody that really look at the story can really look at it and see that nothing is really matching up. Nothing really makes sense. We're waiting on the autopsy right now and stuff like that. So, you know, more is definitely gonna come out about it. The truth is gonna come out, and I'm waiting on the truth. Like just between all the lies, you can tell, and like the distractions and stuff, you can just tell like there's more to the story and there's more to be it's gonna get put out there. Uh, do I know all the answers to that? No. You know what I'm saying? Because this autopsy might come back and tell a little bit more. I don't know. All I can tell you is like from what I seen in the hospital, like with my own eyes, I couldn't even see all of it until they pulled the plug and I was able to hold my daughter for the last time. You know what I'm saying? Like she had bruises all over her, bruises all over her. You know,
When you saw that with your eyes, and with us being adults and looking at our children, we can make an estimation. In your estimation, what did that level of bruising look like to you if we had to just take a wild guess?
like she got her ass beat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be like completely like real. It looked like somebody. It looked like somebody like somebody beat her. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked like it looked like a hatred. Like I don't understand how that could be done to any kid. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just like the amount of stuff that she had on her. It was just crazy. It was unbelievable. And then and what they did was actually even me just looking at it. I st- and when I was able to see the stuff, I still couldn't see everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually went in the room, got a camera, picked up each leg at a time, went from her toes to her head, and took a picture of every bruise and made a note about every bruise. That's how serious it was. Like they went in, they did it without the camera, went in there, took notes of every bruise. Then they went in the camera and took a picture of every situation that was on her body. I dropped her off Sunday. I got this news Tuesday night. On Tuesday, she actually sent me pictures of my daughter on Monday. She was smiling. She was at her grandma's house. So, and then not only that, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But in my head, I do kind of got like a scenario, but I know one thing I did do. I gave my daughter back looking a lot better, looking a lot healthier than what I got her. She had a lot more life in her. She was happy. She was smiling. And if it was a situation, you was delivered from that. She was not supposed to go back. Like I don't know what went over. I don't know what's going on over there. I wasn't in her situation. I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't in her situation. You know what I'm saying? I would have more than welcome to get my daughter any day of the week, but you know how shit go when you're dealing with women that you're not in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? The court said I can get this, and when based on her emotions, I could get more. You know what I'm saying? So it
So did
wasn't like,
y'all? So
so
did
it
y'all?
wasn't.
So did y'all have like a shared custody agreement with the court,
Yeah, we had shared custody.
and y'all had that through the court? Like, what was the nature of that? Like, what was the agreement?
The agreement that I would get her, I got my, I got her 1 day, 1 week, then I got her 3 days the next week. I wanted more time. The mother would always, she would be reluctant. I already asked her. I was like, I want more time, but the whole thing was, uh, to try to preserve. Is kind of, I kind of feel like it was probably a, a a money thing or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I get more time, her money, she doesn't get as much money no more. You know what I'm saying? So like it will always be a fight in the court. It would never be at that point she was more willing to but she still wasn't. She would rather do something like that outside of the court because it would be me kind of like paying the same thing and just doing it. Even though I did it, I watched my daughter while she went to work before. Uh, I tried to stretch it out more anytime I could. But like them type of things, it just you're not in a relationship with that person, so you really don't have that. You don't really have that type of control. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all based on how she feeling for that moment, far as me, cause to be for real, I would have had no problem getting my daughter on that day. I never denied my daughter. I would get her any day. I never had a problem with getting my daughter. Like she is the one thing that really like brought like what I'm saying, brought happiness and like it brought joy. Like I love being a father. Like I had no problem with ever getting my daughter, but it's not always just that easy. It's never. You know what I'm saying? It's way harder than saying then you want something because you got to go through somebody else. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted it, yeah, I would have had it. But she would always been reluctant in that situation. I would have got it anyway, eventually anyway. But it would everything I would have got would have been a fight, like
Why
far
why do you why do
going to
you
court.
why do you feel like everything would be a fight? Like,
Because
because I
that's just how it is. That's just how I had to go to court to get what I got. I had I had a paid attorney. I had to go to court. I I started off on 2 hour visitations. You know what I'm saying? At like when it's getting, it was some days on my 2 hour visitations when she'd be reminding me that my 2 hours is almost over. So you got to look at if somebody doing that to you and you got 2 hours with your daughter. All right, this is just gonna be difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's just gonna be difficult. You know what I'm saying?
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if if I got her for 2 hours and you reminded me when my 2 hours is almost over, like just look at what else I'm gonna have to go through. So that's just basically that's just what it what it is. And so that situation that actually happened didn't even have to happen because the support was there. You chose to go outside of that and do something else.
So you say you got a chance to talk to the grandmother on the mom's side, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did what was the conversation between you and grandma?
As far as what? When?
As far as the day before, during, or after? Did you have a conversation with her after the after your daughter ended up in the hospital, or did you talk to her before? Did y'all have a pretty good?
She just told me she didn't know this friend and that basically my daughter fraud. Basically what y'all heard, but it doesn't make sense. And then even like the investigation, like it don't make sense. Like far as with the police, like none of this is making sense. And then it started coming out that it was a boyfriend. And the way I found out that it was a boyfriend, to be completely honest, is like I was in the room, I looked on the wall, it stated my daughter's mother's name, and it said the boyfriend name, it said her name, his name, the boyfriend is restricted. She wasn't restricted, but it was letting you know that it was in relation to her and that he was restricted from coming to the hospital or that room. So that's how I found out
That there
that's what it was.
was
'Cause
a boyfriend.
yeah, it said that on the wall.
Mhm.
It said that on the wall. He was restricted, and actually that
So
wasn't even
we're
up
not
when I
we're
first got there. That wasn't even there when I first got there.
so
Like
we're not saying that he did anything. We're just saying that there was a name that you heard of, and that name of that person we believe to be the boyfriend was not allowed to come into the hospital room in
yeah,
general. In general,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say like no fingers was really appointed immediately. That's why the situation is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like far as like no arrests being made and stuff like that, because nobody stepped up immediately. Like if I didn't know what was going on, what you think the police was getting? So whatever information they got, they had to go find that shit. It wasn't really told to them.
So the next step in this is essentially waiting to get autopsy results. They will hear from that, and then they should be able to make a determination as far as like what caused this. Is that the next step?
Yeah, yep. To my knowledge, it already been ruled child abuse, as far as like uh at the hospital. You know what I'm saying? That's to my knowledge. I can't be completely for certain about that, but where I can, that's what it been ruled. But
Because basically what they do in that situation is they can look at a child, they can make a determination based on their physical ailments and say this is what we believe it is in our medical profession. But then there's also another level to it whenever you have like
yeah,
a coroner's
yeah,
declaration of death.
like the doctors was in there, like the care workers. Like it's people in the hospital like care workers that when this stuff kind of get recognized, they come in and they immediately do an investigation. They want to talk to both parents, and that's how I found out when I was taken away from everything in the hospital and went into a room with it's like three people, two care workers, and it was an intern. They basically let me know what they was asking me about my daughter previous history, about my family previous medical history, and then they kind of like just cut the chase and was like, look, this is what it is. Like we observed some things and this just doesn't make sense. How often is your daughter in your care? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Like none of this makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because like this shit a lot deeper than what's been told to me. Like it was told to me that it was a simple friend of the family at first. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no boyfriend attached to it or nothing like that at first. But clearly everybody in the room kind of knew this. You know what I'm saying? But you still, and I'm the father, and I'm walking in the hospital, and you're not even telling me this.
So
But
y'all
you know,
also had access to daycare as well.
yeah, I took her to daycare, and just by looking back at it, like I see some things that like I could have been like more noticeable about, far as like hands, mouth, and foot disease. Even if a kid do catch hands, mouth, and foot disease, like they're not gonna catch it like twice within like the same 2 or 4 months, 5 months. Like your body already build up a certain level of immune system to that. Like you're not gonna be acceptable to that. Like within like the you're not gonna catch it twice within 6 months. Like that really doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a virus. Your body fought that off and build up some kind of immune. But it's kind of hard to say when you living in that moment. It's like you do notice stuff like looking back at it, like when I should have said fuck it and probably just took her to the emergency room. But like I said, like I was trusting what was told to me. Like I was trying to have the best co-parenting relationship that I could have that was possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to have my daughter equal time. I was getting there. You know what I'm saying? I seen my daughter every week. I was a part of her life every week. I don't believe in the whole visitation thing because my daughter was never a visitor in my life. You know what I'm saying? And so,
That's a fact.
yeah, so
Right. You got a chance to watch my initial broadcast that I talked about what I read in the story and I gave some opinions, right?
yeah,
Okay. So I understand that you can't qualify certain statements that I made because I stand on my words and my beliefs and my thoughts, and those are my opinions and my opinions alone.
uh-huh.
But how did you feel about because like I said, I'm not even sure how you found my video, but how did you feel about what you heard about what I said?
I feel like you was on point, even though you kind of like said some stuff about me as a father. Like, I mean, you just talking from like outside looking in, and really, like, if anything, you just trying to bring awareness to the situation. So even though I'm hurt at this time, I didn't really take offense to it because I didn't really feel like it was coming from like a straight bashful place. You know what I'm saying? Like I know you might have said something like that father should have known and took his daughter to the emergency room and stuff like that. But and like during that time, honestly, like I thought I was doing it right. And you don't understand. I was in here like really caring for my daughter, like checking her temperature with a hand thermometer, like making sure it was always on point, giving her Pedialyte, Tylenol, treating the symptoms. Like my daughter went back 100% better than what she came,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 days later, she's gone.
Let me ask you this
Mm-hmm.
because to be real, we'll have to wait to talk more in depth about some of these things that we believe, and we're definitely going to know more as time goes on. But I'm telling you, the biggest red flag when I read this article, because I read from a number of different websites, is when I saw family friend, and I'm thinking like when you say that, because it could be two
Yeah,
things.
but look though. Just look at that one statement though. All right, they knew what it really was. The police is only putting out there what was told to them, and they already found out that it was a boy. It's pretty much common sense that it was a boyfriend, but that's just what you chose to say. You didn't choose to actually keep it real in that situation. So it ain't too much being kept real in this situation, cause it was already not really kept like that from the beginning. Like you already trying to downplay the situation. Like go ahead and say what it was for what it was.
And
And
and,
that's
and,
it's
and
just
what I
so
guess
huh?
I guess what I didn't understand was because I understand how this media thing works. You could even have said that they are suspicious of a boyfriend without actually saying we believe this is what he did, and like you could still say like here's the person and here's the relation to the person to the mother. Like that's not even hard to figure out. But to sit there and just make it seem like something like this, just like a kid just falls down steps and we end up where we are. I'm just like that's BS. Like we all know that's
Yeah,
not correct.
yeah, but look, but that's the problem. That's the story that they was given. If you pay close attention to what he even said, he was like suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Like he's telling you without telling you. You know what I'm saying? This what I have to go with so far, but none of this is making sense. We got other information, but we are not ready to put it out right now. You know what I'm saying? We will be letting you know later, basically. It wasn't an accident, and I was told that from day one. And and even when the police said accident, they say allegedly accident. Everything is allegedly and suspicious. These is the words that they are using.
A lot of times you can find, matter of fact, even before it gets to an ultimate point like this, which is how parents can end up losing custody of kids. They can come out and say, here's what we believe. They call CPS. Boom. We believe this is child abuse.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's
that
easy
happened.
for them to
All that
make a
happened.
determination
I,
like
I
that.
I talked to the care workers at the hospital. I talked to CPS. I talked to police detectives. You know what I'm saying? They all was basically saying like it's not adding up. None of it makes sense, and too much is going on with her for this to be an accident. For this to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they know it's not right, and it's some stuff that they keep from me too. You know what I'm saying? Because they got right now they just working on the case, building it. You know what I'm saying? They want a solid case, so they want the autopsy. They want a uh, they want an open and close case, basically. You know what I'm
Which,
saying? So
which,
so so they they waiting on the autopsy because right now the autopsy is pending. Uh, I had my daughter's funeral 2 days ago on Friday. Viewing was Thursday.
and I appreciate you sharing that with me. Let me ask you this final thing here, because just me coming from kind of an investigative standpoint and even from a fatherly standpoint, your daughter was roughly about a year old, right?
She was 23 months.
Just under 2 years old. Okay, so that actually helps out quite a bit. So technically, one, she was just under 2 years old. This family friend that they're saying, yeah. So this
I
family
already know where you're
friend,
going.
thank you. You know exactly where I'm going. So this family friend is known well enough to be called a family friend, and
See, that's the
normally
thing though. When you use family friend, like I act like this is how I destroyed the family friend apart in the beginning. Like it already wasn't making sense. Like I asked the relatives in the room, "Do you know this family friend? Grandfather, grandmother, you know this person?" Like, no, I only really met him one time. No, at first he was like, I don't know him. Then it was eventually like I met him one time. Like I haven't really talked to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. So like now I'm like, all right, I'm saying this out loud in the room. How is this a family of a friend if nobody knows him? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like family of the friend of some cousins or something like that. Like it was just like always like I was never really getting what I needed to hear.
they were
You know what I'm
basically
saying?
giving
Or
you a vague description of this person that
yeah.
was a caretaker of your daughter around that
Wait,
time.
wait. I get yeah. You can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like
Because I would think, like, I don't take the word friend lightly at all. If I
yeah,
if I even just say
and then
friend, I'm
like
thinking we've
like
got
it's
some
a
history together.
like it's a 23-month-year-old beautiful girl. I mean, my daughter was beautiful. You just don't put her in the hands of another man. Like no, like what's cool about that? That's some delusional shit. I don't care how you even want to mask that or put it together or try to make it seem right in your head. That's straight delusion. Like that don't make sense at all on any level. Like and I wasn't even doing that as a man. You expect a man to be like, I need help with this. Nah, like I wasn't doing that. During my summer temporary time, I used to daycare a little more because I would get full weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So just not to have my daughter with my mom all the time and get her more acclimated with other kids and more familiar, just interacting with different kids. Yeah, I took her to daycare. Like it was my first time taking my daughter to daycare, so she would send me pictures like throughout the day when she was at daycare when I was at work. Just letting me know my daughter is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like sending me pictures of her playing, sending her pictures of like little learning assignments, taking pictures of her eating. And she like loved my daughter. Like you just don't understand. Like she like really loved my daughter. Like when it was time to pick her up, like everybody like loved my daughter. Like she was so sad to see my daughter leave every time. Like it just seemed she she almost wanted my daughter. Like she really like loved my daughter. Like and my mom was the same way. And when I tell you like she was just perfect, like she listened, like and she always just wanted to be around you. Like and
but she didn't have to be like too close to you. Like she always just wanted to be able to have her eyes on you.
Hmm.
If she was she wanted to play with something, she would grab it and then come somewhere near you and play with it. You know what I'm saying? Because she just wanted to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like she would always just like grab me and hug me as she went to sleep and stuff like that. You know?
Let me ask you this. In the title of one of these websites, which is wxyz.com, in the title, it actually says that there is a warrant request that's being reviewed. And to
Yeah,
me,
that's
that
true.
that could mean a number of different things. So they could be waiting to release certain information to make sure and try to just, like you said, put this together in a
But
proper fashion.
yeah, it is a warrant request. You know what I'm saying? They trying to the prosecution and the police and the detectives is two. They kind of like they the same thing, but they really like two separate entities. Like detectives take the evidence to the prosecution and they decide if they want to do a warrant or something like that. So basically, it's just like detectives working with the police and they presented something and they just really waiting and they really just building the case. You know what I'm saying? They just building. They really want the autopsy to describe certain things and stuff like that. And that's where we had certain things was they had to take a deeper look. Stuff had to go out for testing to really be able to understand the situation. I guess so, and
Okay.
that's where it's. Mm.
Okay. I think that pretty much answers most of what I was kind of curious about. Like I say, I know for sure we will have a lot more information. Do you have an idea about when the coroner is supposed to release their information as far as what they actually know from their test?
Uh, it's a it's the autopsy. They said it could take anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. Basically, in situations like this, it can be accelerated, but you really need to push them because it's a Detroit, of course, too. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Stuff happen every day, and so uh, like I talked to the medical examiner office. I asked them how long it's gonna take, and they told me what I just told you. They said you can't get it accelerated. You got to talk to CPS, have them call. You got to have the detectives call. You got to have the prosecution, and that's what I did last week. And that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow when I wake up. Tomorrow is Monday, so I'm gonna be on it Monday.
If our suspicions are correct, what we believe occurred is found out, and there are people held accountable for that. Um, I don't even know if I can. I'll present it, and you just tell me whether you want to answer it or not. What would you like to ultimately see happen as far as the conclusion in court if somebody is held accountable?
I like to see that anybody that played parts in it should be prosecuted. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, any level of involvement, any involvement of neglection, any involvement of abuse, they should be locked up too. You don't understand, like, like far as like losing a kid, like that's a big part of your life. Like it's a void that you can't really even feel, and you got to learn how to move forward with that gone when you've been moving like this for so long. Even though I was only with my daughter for 23 months, but every decision I was making in life was kind of including her. I'm fighting for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I just had the funeral. I've been angry. I've been mad. So like I've been grieving, but like it haven't really, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just watching a video the other day of her, and she was just like so happy, and like and she has so much life in her. And I'm just looking at her like it was just yesterday, and it's like I know she gone in my soul, but like in my flesh, like it was just kind of conflicting with yourself, like she gonna come back. Yeah, but you kind of know, so you kind of arguing with yourself internally. You know what I'm saying?
To wrap this up, and again, I want to thank you so much for your time. Let me wrap this up and let you get back. But I do know that we kind of talked about this, so I want to put it out there so that way everybody can know. Because I know other content creators out there just like me, and I'm thankful that you did give me an opportunity to speak with you. but I know we have other content creators that also talk about similar stories just like this. If I
Yeah.
could ask you to do me a favor to some of my friends out there that also follow my channel and I follow theirs and we share information to those content creators out there, what can we do to help you, to help the legacy of your daughter? What do you want us to do?
I want you to bring awareness to the situation. Push it out there, so it'd be more. You know what I'm saying? Give the prosecution more of a hump to go ahead and solve this and, and act. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need help, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need awareness just brought to this case. I need awareness. You know, justice for justice. You know what I'm saying? So I need help.
Okay. So here's what I would do. And again, Janarius, I want to say thank you for your time. Like I do have some other friends out there, and I will reach out to them and ask them to not only share this video that you've spoken with us on, and perhaps even pick up some of the updates because we're going to have more information coming out here sooner than later. And that's going to help expedite this process. And I think the more that we talk about it, the more that we bring it up, the more that we let the world know that this is important, know that your baby's life was important, I think that we can actually help get to where we're trying to get to, and that is get to justice.
Yeah. I agree.
So is there anything else that you want to say before we close out?
No, that'd be it.
Okay. And again, brother, I want to say thank you for your time. And if you need anything from me, you have my information and we can reach out to each other. But I want to thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
All right. And look, let me tell you guys this. One of the biggest things that I noticed and I hope that y'all caught that when we post the hashtag babies for benefits. One of the things that he talked about in there was that the mob didn't want to change their agreement and let him get more time. How many of y'all caught that? Because what we're talking about, and when we're talking about justice, we have to look at what people's intentions are, what the end result is, and what can we do as far as presenting this information to make sure that this type of thing doesn't happen to another justice, to another little girl, to another little boy. Because this thing continues to keep happening. My emails continue to stay full with these stories. Right? So here's why I'm going to bring this up. The mob did not want to change their agreement. And you notice that Janarius said he had to fight. He had to fight to get the little bit of custody that he did have, which was 3 days a week. Did y'all catch that? Because some people are saying, well, why didn't he go for more custody? Because he did, and he had to fight to just get what he got. And the mom initially had it to where he only had 2 hours of visitation. And she'd be constantly, and I want y'all to hear me clearly. She would constantly remind him, Janarius, your 2 hours are almost up. Janarius, you only got 1 hour left. Janarius, you only got 30 minutes left. Janarius, you only got 15 minutes left. He's not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. That does not sound like a loving mother. That sounds like a selfish person, a person that does not put their daughter first, right? You're doing that to poke at a man, to prod at a man, to break him down emotionally for what and why. And here's the cold part about it. Here's the real cold part about it. And I talk about this all the time. And we use these stories, as I always say, as cautionary tales. Think about this. Think about how much this man had to fight for 2 hours of seeing his daughter to eventually get. Thank y'all. Y'all please click that thumbs up if you're watching. Thank you. To move from 2 hours to 3 days. How often did mom's new boyfriend get to see this little girl? Y'all see the discrepancy there? Do y'all see the problem there? Does anybody see where I'm going with this? The biological father who helped create this child. This child would not have existed if not for this father providing his seed for the soil to exist. Why are fathers being marginalized? Why, as fathers, do we continue to allow people to marginalize us and make it seem like what our contributions aren't important? We're deadbeats. We're not good fathers, and we just don't know what we doing out here. We just need to continue to keep pumping money and pumping money and pumping money and looking sad and take what we're given. Why? Why should we have to settle for that? But the dude that she's laying up underneath while he's pumping and sweating his ass off, boyfriend, gets to be around this baby all day long. And on top of that, here's what I believe. I believe that mom might have left this little girl with this boyfriend, unattended, by themselves. He wasn't saying, hey, boyfriend, you only got 2 hours. I'm about to be back. Hey, boyfriend, I'm about to be back in 30 minutes. Hey, boyfriend, your time with her is almost up. I'm about to be back in 15 minutes. Wasn't doing that to boyfriend, but you do that to the biological father, who I can almost guarantee you was not making it difficult for you to be a mother. He had a house set up for his daughter. He had clothes set up for his daughter. He had an entire bedroom at his house, which they showed in the news, set up for his daughter. He's not taking from the mother. He's supporting the mother and the daughter, and that's the type of treatment that he gets. The reason why I bring all that up is we have to look at what's the motive. Do I think that the mom caused this to happen? No, I don't. But here's what I do believe. I believe that she perpetuated the outcome. Let me explain how. Because with this baby being 23 months old, can't speak for herself, and cannot defend herself, there is no reason that after you just gave birth less than 23 months ago, that this child should be around another person. No reason. This is why families and mothers of the old days, were so protective of their kids. No outside sources. We're not going to just allow people around our kids. For the situations that happen, maybe some of you guys can attest to this, that have seen situations where you've seen mom's boyfriend. Maybe some of you young men out there that are listening might have watched your mama bring some boyfriends through the house, and these boyfriends didn't give a crap about you, were disrespectful, maybe even violent towards you. And you probably was thinking, why would mom put this on me? That's your boyfriend. That's somebody you like. Why don't y'all go do y'all thing away from us? There's no reason a boyfriend should. And how many times do we continue to present these stories and these children end up in a very bad predicament, to the point where there used to be a website called Mom's Boyfriend. I don't even know where the website is anymore. They might have took it down, talking about they were misogynistic and bashing mothers. I don't even know where the website is anymore, but there used to be a website dedicated to this narrative that there are too many boyfriends getting access to children by way of the biological mother. We're going to find out some things about this story and do some revealing in this story. I'm giving you guys what my suspicion is. I believe that the boyfriend murdered this little girl. We now know that the little girl had a broken neck. But I think more is going to come out. I think they're going to probably say there was some blunt force trauma. There was some type of drama. There was some type of abuse. And I think there are going to be some arrests. Y'all stay tuned. And again, thank you, Janarius, for not only trusting me and allowing me to put this information out there, but I will repost this so that way everybody can share it. And I will reach out to some of my YouTube content creator friends. If you guys watch this video, if you want to be able to share this interview, please just contact me. Won't be a problem at all. And I will make sure that you guys have access to it, because we want to get justice for this beautiful 23-month-old baby Justice, okay? Thank you guys for listening to her story. To those who are listening right now, we only have 326 thumbs up. If y'all would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. We actually have 5 additional stories to talk about, including the 2 that are actually on the thumbnail. So if you guys are looking at the video, we're going to talk about those stories right now. So let me go ahead and get up. This is... How many of you guys have heard about the missing 11-year-old girl, Madalena, out of Cornelius? This little girl. We're going to talk about her. Let me make sure I get this story correct because I do not want to... Yep, this is the one. So we are on nypost.com. So this is story number 2 out of 6. So if I have any moderators in the building, if you want to keep everybody posted with where we are at, that's where we are right now. So we would love to be at 400 thumbs up. That should be easy. We should have 500 thumbs up, to be honest. Can y'all click that thumbs up for me, please? If y'all can hear my voice, can everybody who's sitting and listening, please just click that thumbs up. Pump us up to at least 400, please. I'm going to refresh it and see where we're at. Everybody posted. There we go. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Okay, good. So we're sitting at 349 right now. So I'm not going to make you guys wait, but our goal is to try to at least get to 600 to 700 when we can get there, because not enough people are being notified. So here we go. Let's talk about this. This particular story has a lot of twists and turns, so I'm going to do the best I can to try to give you guys what we know as far as factual information right now, and hopefully we can get some justice in this situation. But I'm telling you guys, you know, when there's smoke, there's usually fire, and I think you guys are probably going to be devastated with this story. But let me give you guys a quick disclaimer before we jump into it, because I don't want anybody to not understand what type of content I'm presenting. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Yes, indeed. Let me give a shout out to Kimberly Flower if she's out there listening or if she watches this at a later point. And I'd like to thank her for this shirt. And it says, "See something, say something." And if you guys watch her channel, she's an amazing person. Let me give you guys the information right here. The mother of missing North Carolina 6th grader, Madalena, told cops, or told police. I know Lee hates for me to say cops, but they actually typed this in here. This is from nypost.com, so thank you for the article. So let me rephrase. 6th grader Madalena told police she believed the mother believed her husband put her family in danger and that he fled their home after a fight the night that she last saw her daughter, according to court documents. The startling accusations emerged Wednesday as police descended again to search the family's home in Cornelius, where officers previously found an area that was blocked off with plywood inside the house, which is very, very odd. It also came as FBI and local police released a handwritten statement from the 11-year-old schoolgirl's family saying that they were devastated and absolutely heartbroken and desperate to find her. "We love Madalena and are shocked by these circumstances. This is something no child or family should ever have to endure," the letter said, of the beautiful, smart, kind, loving 11-year-old girl with greatness in her future. The family did not identify who was behind the statement. Madalena's mother, Diana Kojokari, excuse me, Kojocari, that's a very difficult name for me to pronounce, 37 years old, stepfather, right here that you see on my screen, Christopher Palmitter, 60 years old. Both of them have been charged with failing to report her missing for at least 22 days. They failed to report her missing for 22 days. Huge red flag. And that alone should probably get you, I don't know how many years in prison you should get just for that alone, but let's keep going. During police interviews, Kojikari told detectives that on November 23rd, the same night she last saw her daughter, she argued with her husband, according to an affidavit obtained by Queen City News. Paul Mitter, the boyfriend, then drove off to be with family in Michigan, with at least 550 miles and a 9-hour trip from their North Carolina home. The mom says she saw her daughter going to her room at 10 p.m. that night, the report said, without elaborating on whether it was before or after Paul Mitter had left and the fight ended. I will let you guys take a guess as to which one it was. Because I can tell you it was probably the mom says she last saw her daughter go to her room at 10 p.m. the night of that night without elaborating on whether it was before or after Paul Mitter had left. So I think that he might have taken this girl. I don't know. It was more than 12 hours later on Thanksgiving morning, sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied, that she realized her daughter was not home, she reportedly told police. She waited 3 days before telling Paul Mitter that his stepdaughter was missing. Does that not sound like BS to y'all? She said she waited 3 days before telling her boyfriend that his stepdaughter is missing, and weeks more before admitting that Madalena's school, that she did not know where the 6th grader was. I think they both knew where she was, in my opinion. When questioned, the mom told a detective that she believed her husband put her family in danger. Kojikari did. And that she delayed reporting her daughter missing over fears it would damage her marriage. Let me read that again because I kind of messed it up. When questioned, the mother told a detective that she believed her husband put her family in danger and that she delayed reporting her daughter missing. She delayed reporting her daughter missing. Let me say that again. In her own words, she delayed reporting that her daughter was missing because she thought it would mess her marriage up. That sounds like she cared more about her marriage than her own flesh and blood. Isn't that what it sounds like to y'all? Because that's what it sounds like to me. The affidavit did not elaborate on why she felt in danger or if it was directly related to Madalena's disappearance. The mom also admitted ignoring pleas from relatives in her native Moldova to call the police, the report said, without stating if it was to report her husband, her daughter, her missing daughter, or both. Despite her claims, Kojikari insisted in police interviews that she had no idea where her daughter was, stressing that she had no friends or family in the area and that she might be staying or who she might be staying with. Earlier this week, the FBI released a video footage of Madalena getting off a school bus on November the 21st, stressing that it was the last confirmed sighting of her 2 days before her mom claims that she last saw her. The FBI said it hoped that the video would spark witnesses outside of the family who could narrow down the exact timeline of when she actually disappeared. Local police have also asked locals to flood the area with photos showing her precious face. So let me give you guys the fair usage and I'll show you the videos that we have. Here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And if you guys would do us a favor, we want to have at least one thumb up for every person that's watching this video. So if you will, hit that thumbs up. It only takes a moment, okay? Here we go. Let's get it.
Turning now to this, some new details we're getting in the case of the missing 11-year-old girl from Cornelius, Madalena Kojikari. A big police presence tonight at Madalena's home. Investigators on scene with what appeared to be evidence collection underway. We saw the crime scene van there. We saw an officer with a camera at one point leaving the home. Our crews have been there for hours too, gathering the latest. So with that, we want to get over to WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker, who is joining us live with the details that he's been gathering throughout the evening. So what does it look like at the home right now, Austin?
Yeah, it's wrapped up right now, Vanessa, but it was a very busy night outside of Madalena Kojikari's home earlier tonight. Again, a lot of investigators moving in and out of the home. Neighbors say they haven't seen this much commotion at the home in a few days. And tonight, as we're heading into the later hours, we are learning a lot more about her mother.
WCNC Charlotte obtained these court documents Wednesday. They say Madalena's mother, Diana Kojikari, told detectives she believed her husband put her family in danger, but did not know what happened to Madalena. She says she also contacted her family in the Eastern European country of Moldova, who told her to call the police, but was hesitant to call. Diana says Madalena's backpack and some clothes were missing from their home, but also says her daughter wouldn't have any friends or family to stay with. Court documents also reveal while police were searching the home on Friday night, they noticed a piece of plywood blocking the kitchen. When detectives asked about it, Madalena's stepfather, Christopher Palmer, says they were going to make a separate apartment. However, we found no active permits for the home. We are also learning Palmer used to live in Grand Ledge, Michigan. The police chief confirming with WCNC Charlotte, FBI agents were trying to talk to Palmer's family and working with the Cornelius Police Department. As night falls Wednesday, a big police presence outside Madalena's home, a dozen investigators going in and out of the home. You can see this video right here, a blue storage bin being taken out of the home and placed in a crime scene van. Throughout the night, flashes from inside the home through the upper left window.
Again, things wrapped up about a few hours ago, and again, a lot of questions still left unanswered. Vanessa?
Austin, thanks for that information from the scene. We know you also spent a lot of time at...
Switching gears now, Cornelius Police releasing a personal message from the family of missing 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari. In the letter, the family thanked police and the community for their continued efforts in the search for Madalena. They say they are devastated and heartbroken, but continue to have hope that she will be found very soon. The family went on to describe Madalena as a beautiful and smart girl. They asked that if you have any information on her whereabouts to please contact the Cornelius Police Department. And today, we could get our hands on a new search warrant providing more details on the search for the 11-year-old. Police now stepping up their investigation with dozens of detectives showing up at the family's home last night. Police walking out with at least one bit of evidence that our crew there on scene could tell. Now, new documents say Madalena's mother believed her husband was putting their family in danger.
Investigators working around the clock to figure out where a missing Cornelius girl went. Court documents now show Madalena's mother, Diana Kojikari, was encouraged by family in Eastern Europe to call police as soon as the 11-year-old went missing. But she didn't end up talking to officials until 3 weeks after her daughter disappeared. Now we're learning Diana says Madalena's backpack and clothes were also missing from their home. All this as police in Michigan tell WCNC Charlotte they're looking to talk to Christopher Palmer's family in the town of Grand Ledge, just outside of Lansing. The FBI field office in Detroit assisting with this investigation. Back in Cornelius, investigators going in and out of the home Wednesday night as police piece together evidence in the ongoing case.
And a lot still developing as we learn more about what happened to Madalena Kojikari. Make sure you have the WCNC.
It's a nice neighborhood. I never would have thought that.
People would describe this Cornelius neighborhood as a quiet one until recently.
Yesterday there was all the commotion we had. There must have been, 40, people out there.
Friday night, police searching for 11-year-old Madalena Kojikari and investigating her home for evidence. Early Saturday morning, Cornelius police arresting Christopher Palmer, her stepfather, for failure to report the disappearance of a child to law enforcement. Just hours later at 10:15 a.m., her mother, Diana Kojikari, also taken into custody.
It's very concerning that something like this could happen, that it was so close to us.
Neighbors puzzled by the news, some telling us the family kept to themselves.
Well, I would assume that they are suspects.
Quentin Williams, former FBI agent and investigator, says the timeline of events isn't adding up. Madalena was last seen on November 23rd, but weeks later was reported missing to the school on December 15th, 22 days later.
You would assume that the district would ask after a few days, because they send notes home. And now in the digital age, we all get emails when our kids are out of school for one day. So the parents knew immediately that the child was not in school.
Leading him to believe the reason for both arrests on Saturday,
they didn't report it.
We spoke to a dozen neighbors who tell WCNC Charlotte they noticed burning in their backyard at all hours starting on November 27th, including Saturday morning, just hours before her mother was taken into custody. Today, neighbors still left heartbroken by the news.
I hope that, she's run away or something and comes back.
And questions start having answers.
All you can do is hope and pray.
Guys, I'm telling you, that's not a mother to sit there and let days, weeks, or even hours go by without reporting your child missing. Y'all remember, I recently went off in a story about a parent that didn't call police within 1 hour of their child missing. So if I will go off on that, how do you think I feel about a child that's been missing for days? Days before you say anything? No freaking way. And I think that they should be facing a mandatory 50 years in prison just for that alone. Just for that alone. Because you knew she was missing. You didn't say anything. That makes me believe that y'all probably colluded. Like there was some collusion going on, right? Here's the last known video of her on the bus. I'll show you this a couple of times so you guys can see her face. Right there. Right there. That's her. That is so sad, man. That is so sad that her own parents didn't give a crap about her. Look at this. One more time. So you guys make sure and spread this image. That's her right there. That's the last time that they believed that she was seen in public. Right there. There it is. So make sure you guys screenshot that, save it, share it, send it out to people, post it in groups so everybody knows. Can you go to jail for failing to report your child missing? Yes, you can. Absolutely. That's why they're arrested right now.
As you can imagine here, this is just the latest of so many developments in this case, the timeline of Madalena's case.
We just have to pray that they can find her alive. At the rate we're going, because I believe that mom's boyfriend or husband, whatever you want to call it, and mom, I think they're both lying. I think that something more sinister probably happened. Y'all know how these stories go on my channel. I just believe that there's probably a lot more sinister stuff going on. The outcome does not look good, so we're probably going to be searching for a body rather than an alive 11-year-old girl. I just really, really fear that.
Stretches for weeks, and there are so many twists and turns to follow. So we want to highlight some of the big ones that we know thus far. We're going to take you back to November 21st. So keep in mind that was 1 month ago today. This is the last time Madalena was documented at school. A school counselor telling authorities that, and we've showed you this before, this video the FBI released, it shows her on the school bus that afternoon. So that is the 21st. And so going from there, the next few days are convoluted based on reports we're getting from both the girl's mother and her stepfather. Through an arrest report, we are seeing the mother telling police, so Diana Kojikari telling police she last saw her daughter around noon on the 22nd. But then in that same arrest report, we see her changing her story with police, saying it was actually around 10 p.m. on the 23rd when she went to bed. Now, the night of the 23rd is also when the stepfather, Christopher Palmeter, says that he drove to Michigan. We heard Austin reference Michigan and how he has some relatives there, we believe. WCNC Charlotte received this video from Michigan. So this is where Palmeter is believed to have lived at one point in Grand Ledge. The police chief there, as Austin told us, confirming FBI agents were there trying to talk to Palmeter's family. And so now, while Palmeter said that he went out out of state on the 23rd, Diana says a different thing. She says it was actually the 24th. And
there are ways that they can find out if he actually went to Michigan and where he was. They could either find it by way of a cell phone, location through apps. Maybe, I'm assuming he probably had to stop at a gas station, surveillance cameras. Family could absolutely speak up and say something. I would hope that there are some good people in Michigan, especially that family, that would speak up and say what they saw. Was he there? You know, give us some type of information. We got to hope that the family is going to cooperate.
later that morning is when she says she noticed her daughter wasn't in her room. On the 26th is when Palmeter says he returned from Michigan. He ended up asking Diana where Madalena was, both of them accusing the other of hiding her, but neither reported her missing. And it's not until more than 2 weeks later that others get involved. On December 12th, that's when a Bailey Middle School resource officer and school counselor visit the family's home because they haven't seen Madalena in school in 3 weeks. Now, on that day, they are unable to reach the family, so they leave some information at the home. But finally, they are able on the 15th to get Diana to come to the school. She arrives without her daughter, though. That's when she tells the school that she hadn't seen Madalena in weeks. So this is the day that she is officially reported as missing. So, of course, an ongoing story. We do have an interactive timeline, including this information we just shared, plus what has happened in the investigation since. That's on our website, WCNC.com.
Yeah, make sure you guys check that website out and you guys can kind of see for yourself as far as how a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. But I'm glad that they went ahead and arrested the mom and the stepdad. This little girl is somewhere, and I think that dad knows where she is. I think mom knows too. But I hope that we find her, and I hope that we find her soon. And I hope that we can put a conclusion to the story really quickly. We just got to keep her prayer hands up and just hope that she's still alive. So for now, we're going to pray and hope that Madalena, young princess, is still alive. Y'all keep her prayer hands up in the chat. Share this story because everybody needs to be seeing this. Before we start to spread celebrity news and gossip and all kind of silly stuff like that, how about we share stories that matter? How about we get 1 million hits on her video? Anybody that's talking about her story, share those videos. Get millions of eyes on that because I believe that it matters. Share these missing baby stories. We got too many of our kids missing and nobody seems to care. But please remember that. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the story on the right-hand side of the thumbnail. If you guys were paying attention on my video, which is going to be the story of the missing twins. How many of you guys heard about this? Because this has been a really hot topic. Let me get this up on the screen. Let me show you which picture y'all are probably familiar with. Let me see if I can I refresh this? Refresh. The picture that you guys are probably familiar with is probably something like this, the Amber Alert. How many of you guys saw this? Thank you to y'all who are hitting that thumbs up. We're at 416 thumbs up. If we can get the 500 thumbs up, we got enough people here because some people got to go to sleep. Some people got to wake up in the morning, got stuff to do. Some people still got to go to work. So y'all hit that thumbs up and share these stories if you would, please. We're at 415. So, okay, so some of y'all did hear about this. So there were 2 missing babies. They found one. One was still missing. But I have an update for you. So this is actually an update story. I know a lot of people have been sharing this story out there on social media. I am so thankful that this was such a big story because we were able to get some answers really, really quickly. I'm getting this particular story from people.com about these missing twin babies and the person that they were believed to have been missing behind, the woman that you guys see on my screen. But before we get into talking too much about that, I do need to give you guys an official disclaimer for your safety and mine. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. There we go. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up for me if you would, please. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Now, the woman that let me see if I can get a better picture of her up on the screen because I want to make sure that you guys see her face. And I want you guys to understand that this is her booking photo. Everybody understand that. There's no mistaking this. I know some people say, oh, it's an old photo. I believe this is a current photo. Notice how she's smiling, just doesn't really give a crap. But I want you to understand that there are a lot of people like her. This ain't mental illness. This is flat out just bad parenting. Not a good person. Shouldn't ever be around children. Probably should never be allowed to procreate after this. Okay? She just flat out seems like she doesn't care. And we got to stop making an excuse like mental illness. Like, I don't want to hear that. Okay? We got to start holding people accountable, especially when we make it okay for them to have kids and be parents, and that's okay. But then when it's time for them to be held accountable, all of a sudden, well, they had problems, they had issues, and I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be one of those people. The story comes out of Ohio, and I'm getting the story from people.com, so thank you for the article. An Ohio woman, so Ohio, y'all are taking the L. Y'all have taken a lot of L's throughout 2022. You're taking another one. An Ohio woman suspected of abducting twins from Columbus has been arrested. So that is an update in itself. In Indianapolis, and the infant she is accused of taking has been found safe and alive. So some people saw the initial story and saw that they found 1 out of 2 of the top of the twins. They found 1 out of 2 of the twin babies. This is an update to tell you guys as of a few hours ago, they found the second twin. Can somebody type that in the chat? Want to make sure everybody heard that they found both twins. The Columbus Police Department said that Nala Jackson, that idiot that y'all just saw on my screen, was arrested on Thursday by the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. I'm not too fond of the city of Indianapolis. I don't know why, just ain't that fond of it. A short while later, the police department said that 5-month-old Kaysen Thomas was also found safe and alive, which is this picture right here. Let me see if I can back that up so you guys can see that. Because I thought that was a great picture. And this just, like, you could tell this man is a father. Like, he just looks like he cares, like it mattered to him. And I actually just found these pictures recently on Facebook. So I can make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see that. It's just a great looking picture. The baby is safe. Just a really, really good, healthy picture. So that is a blessing in itself. But let's keep going about this story. The baby was found near Indianapolis Papa John's Pizza. He was transported to a hospital to be checked out, the Columbus Police Department said. Jackson is accused of stealing a vehicle that had 5-month-old twins in the back seat from it says Donato's Pizza or Domino's. I don't know if that's a typo. Okay. The baby was found near an Indianapolis Papa John's Pizza, but it's saying Jackson is accused of stealing a vehicle that had 5-month-old twins in the back seat from a Donato's Pizza in Columbus on Monday night. One of the twins, Kyer Thomas, was found soon after after abandoned at the Dayton International Airport parking lot on Tuesday morning by a bystander. After Jackson's arrest, Case and Thomas remained missing for a few hours. Authorities said that they had issued an Amber Alert for the missing baby in Indianapolis. The FBI was also offering a $10,000 reward for any information that could locate Kaysen. Kaysen was found inside the same car missing from Columbus and was still wearing the same clothes. In a press conference, Columbus Police Chief Deputy Chief Smith Weir said that they received multiple tips from people who believed they spotted Jackson in Indianapolis. She was identified through fingerprints, Weir said. A few hours later, the baby boy was found. We're grateful to the public for their help throughout the investigation and for their tireless work of our officers and our many partner agencies, the Columbus Police Department posted online. They never stopped, they never gave up hope, and they would not rest until Kaysen was found. We're beyond thankful for their relentless dedication. Jackson has not been charged. Let me say that again. She has not been charged. My question is why? Why not? I'm getting this from people.com, and this is about as late of an update as I can get because I got this at about, 8:38 p.m.? And I posted that we were going to be doing a live stream around 9 p.m. So that's about as late as I could wait to try to find the latest information. Why she hasn't been charged is beyond me. But it's not immediately clear if she had engaged legal representation to comment on her behalf. But that's the biological father. I'm going to let you guys hear a little bit of what he got to say. So here we go. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up, continue to share these stories. As you guys can see, we can really make a lot of progress when we share these stories, okay? Here we go.
You know what I mean? She's like a long time ago. Like, I haven't talked to her for so long, and every time I have talked to her, which in the recent year since I've been back in dating, I had to call the cops on her every single time. Yeah, I don't know really what switched in her though. It's crazy. It's literally like a different person. She don't even look the same. What I want people to know is I have nothing to do with this. I do not condone Nala's behavior. I have no relationships with Nala whatsoever. I moved on. I have another girlfriend for about a year and 6 months now. I actually been trying to help out with this case as well. Even my dad riding around Dayton looking for her. My family as well looking for her. We have been trying to help as much as we can. Been trying to communicate that on Instagram and stuff. Been posting hella photos of Kason. I've been helping out the FBI, U.S. Marshals. All of them been here. I got their cards. I got all that. I've been trying to do as best as I can with this case because I know I want the baby home safe because I couldn't imagine that happened to me. So if she came over here, I'm going to make a civilian's arrest. Literally, I would definitely personally do that, happily do that, no problem.
Y'all hear that? That's a father right there. I love that. He said, hell, I'll do a citizen's arrest on his own baby mama. He's saying that she's changed. She's not even the same person, but we just got to do better, man, with vetting who we have children by, because this is just happening way too often. But I thought that was very, very telling. Very telling. So this is just a little bit of the scene, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to our next video here in just a second. I want y'all to see this. Speed this up just a little bit. So I just saw that Donato's Pizza and a Papa John's in the same parking lot. I thought they meant Domino's. No, there's a Donato's Pizza apparently. Never heard of that. All right, let's keep going.
I just want to say to Nala, I don't know you. You don't know me. We are both mothers. If you look at him and you see anything, see a precious child that's longing for his mother. Your children long for you. He is longing for his mother. We ask you, we beg you, please, please, please do the right thing. Please do the right thing.
Raw emotion pouring out today from the grandmother of baby Kasan Thomas. Right now, this 5-month-old baby boy is still missing. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Adrian Kinsey. His twin brother, Kair, was found safe yesterday, but tonight the search continues to grow for Kasan. More than an hour ago, we learned that kidnapping charges have now been filed against Nala Jackson, the woman accused of taking Kasan. Tonight, 6 states, including Ohio, are now on high alert, looking for a black Honda Accord that she could be in.
10 TV has live team coverage across Central Ohio tonight. Our Brittany Bailey is live in Columbus as the family held vigils today. And 10 TV's Lindsay Mills is live in Huber Heights, where dozens are helping in the search. But first, we're going to start with Ashley Bornanson. She's where Columbus police gave an update on the search just a little while ago. Ashley.
Yolanda, in the press conference today, CPD joined forces with the FBI and the Ohio State Highway Patrol to update the public on the current search for 5-month-old Kasan Thomas. They say investigators are currently focusing on the Montgomery County area based on tips they've received in the last several hours. CPD and area officers are working with the FBI to exhaustively work any leads. CPD says a BOLO, be on lookout alert, was issued at the 5 states that border Ohio, though they were not able yet to issue an Amber Alert since there was no confirmed sighting of Jackson, Kasan, or the vehicle outside of Ohio. OHSP reiterates the process for activating an Amber Alert is lengthy, as they have to follow criteria based on Ohio revised code.
So that process can take from an hour to an hour and a half by the time you get all these different agencies on board to activate this entire system.
Now, police just hours ago released more images of the vehicle, a black 2010 Honda Accord. Those pictures are on your screen now. Anyone with any information of any of their witnesses.
Well, breaking news, the 5-month-old child at the center of an Amber Alert in Columbus has been found alive. We're hearing in Indianapolis from Columbus stations. We're just getting word of that in the last few seconds. The suspect accused of kidnapping him is in custody tonight. That's according to our NBC affiliate in Columbus.
Oh, real quick, if y'all would do me a favor, make sure y'all click that thumbs up if you're listening. Y'all smash that thumbs up. Share these videos, please.
24-year-old Nala Jackson was found in Indianapolis this afternoon, and police say she kidnapped 5-month-old twins Kair and Kasan Thomas Monday night in Columbus while their mother was picking up a DoorDash order to deliver. Kasan Thomas was found tonight. Kair was found Tuesday morning at Dayton International Hospital.
And we begin with breaking news on the search for baby Kasan Thomas.
At approximately 2 p.m., Nala Jackson was taken into custody. However, Kasan Thomas was not with her at the time of her arrest.
Columbus police say the woman accused of kidnapping 2 baby boys, Nala Jackson, is in custody in Indianapolis. She is accused of stealing a car with the 2 5-month-olds in the back seat. Kayer has been found, but tonight baby Kassan is still missing. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yolanda Harris. This is a case that has rocked our Columbus community, and the search for this baby boy continues tonight. 10 TV's Kiana Deiches is live outside Columbus Police Headquarters with the latest on this case. Kiana?
Yolanda, we know that Nala Jackson was arrested around 2 o'clock this afternoon after a number of tips came in and from the Indianapolis area. Police say they are relieved that they have her in custody, but there is some concern as the search for baby Kassan continues. Now, police say Nala was on the street in Indianapolis when she was found, but it's not clear where she was or if she was still driving the stolen car. We're told that she's being questioned by police there, but it's not clear if she's cooperating or talking at all about where Kassan might be. Now, the concern tonight is not only to get Kassan back to his parents, but to also get him out of the cold. We've been talking about the freezing temperatures we're expecting, and we know that his twin brother, Kayer, was found outside of the Dayton airport after being left in the cold. CPD says no location has been ruled out, and they will continue to search in Columbus as well as other parts of Ohio and Indianapolis as well. Our officers, detectives, sergeants, lieutenants, and commanders have been working around the clock since...
Yes, they have found the other baby. Yes. Yes, they've already found the other baby. We got more to talk about here in just a moment.
Kayer and Kassan went missing late Monday night. Again, we will not stop until we find Kassan. The FBI is offering a $10,000...
He's already been found, so we can skip some of that.
Information about where Kassan is urged to contact...
We could just skip that whole video. He's already been found. So here's the thing. Because I know if y'all were listening to this, you're probably just as confused as I was. So the woman who stole the child was not the mother of these twins. But somehow, I think, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, it sounds like this woman is the ex-girlfriend of the father. She's the ex-girlfriend of the father and not the mother of the twins. So if that's the case, like I said, I could be wrong. Maybe I read this wrong. Maybe I heard it wrong. But it sounds like this woman followed the biological mother of the twins. It sounds like she followed the mother of the biological twins as she was out working while she would have little twin babies out in the middle of the night like that. It's cold. But it sounds like she got followed and got jacked for her car, which happened to have the twins in it. That makes no sense. She was stalking him and stalking her, apparently. I could be wrong, but I'm telling y'all, when I heard this, I thought, I'm like, how did she... They're saying she kidnapped her own kids? And then we've come to find out, I don't think she's the mother of these kids. It sounds like she's the ex-girlfriend of the dad, and that she was following the mother who was making DoorDash orders, went to pick up an order, left the kids in the car, she stole the car, kids are missing. That's what that sounds like. Boy, tell me if I'm wrong about that. Like I said, I could be completely wrong. Maybe all of it is wrong, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments section. Help me try to figure this story out. Because like I said, I read multiple news sources. None of it made any sense. But all in all, the babies are going to be okay. They're found. They're good to go. So we just got to get justice against this person and for what she did. So share the story. Leave a comment. Thank you.